In this case, we're asked to solve this equation. And this equation is a little bit different than the ones that we've done in the past. This particular one has fractions on each one. We call this a rational equation. Now, the very first step that we want to do on these types of equations is to determine what our least common denominator is. And we do that by looking at these numbers. I've got a 3 here, an x here, and an x here. So my least common denominator, in this case, 3 is going to be the only number that I have, so it'll be 3. And I take my largest exponent, which is just 1. So that's 3x to the first power. So my lowest common denominator is 3x. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply each part here, each one of these 3 fractions, by that lowest common denominator, in this case 3x. So I'm going to take each one and multiply it by 3x. Okay, I took the first part, 2 over x, multiplied that by 3x. 1/3, I multiplied that by 3x. And 4 over x, I multiplied that by 3x. So I'm going to simplify that right now. So this part here, 3x times 2 gives me 6x divided by x. The next one here is going to be 3x times 1 over 3, so that's just 3x over 3. And the last part is 3x times 4 divided by x. That'll give me 12x divided by x. Now I look at each one of these here and I see, okay, I've got the same on top and bottom. This is all multiplication, 6 times x. So if I have the same on top and bottom, those x's will actually cancel out. So they're gone now. Now next I look at these. I have a 3 on top and bottom here, so those 3's will actually cancel out. And then this last one here, I have an x on top and bottom, so those x's will cancel out. Okay, so now I have to look and see what I'm left with. I've got a 6, an x, and a 12. So now I'm just going to rewrite it, simplify it here, after I've crossed everything out. That's going to give me 6 plus x equals 12. If you notice here, by multiplying the least common denominator, by each one of these here, we actually eliminate the denominators completely. So now all we're left with is a simple one-step equation. I've got to get x all by itself, so that means I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. When I subtract 6 from both sides, this side equals 0, which is what we wanted. Over here I've got a 12 minus 6, and 12 minus 6 equals 6. So my answer is x equals 6. But when we do these, we always have to make sure that it will actually work out. So we need to go through and check these. So I take my original equation and I start plugging it in. This time, instead of x, I'm going to write in 6. Okay, so 2 divided by 6 plus 1/3 equals 4 divided by 6. So I just plug that in. Right here you'll see it in red. That's where I substituted, instead of writing x, I wrote 6. And I did that on each one of those. 2/6 plus 1/3 actually equals 4/6. And 4/6 does indeed equal 4/6. So that way I know that my answer is indeed correct. It is x equals 6.